Are you just going through the motions? Are you doing okay, but not really excelling? Maybe you got some money in the bank, but no real financial goal. Maybe you dress okay, but you never really thought about style. Today, we're going to talk about taking your life a little bit more seriously, digging deeper, making some small but powerful changes, and basically stepping up to your next level. So let's get into it. Obviously, this is free game where I give advice on leveling up in all areas of your life. And today, we're just going to talk about taking your life a little bit more seriously. So, there's a lot of us that are doing all right in life. You know, we haven't really necessarily, we might not be exactly where we want to be, but we're doing all right. You know, we're doing okay. And sometimes you can get stagnant, you know, with that type of vibe, and you can get into a rut because, like, you've worked hard, you've gotten a lot of good things going. You know, your career is probably doing okay. You know, you're paying your bills. You know, maybe your crib's nice. You got a decent car. You know, you're taking care of your normal things, but you feel a little bit stagnant. You feel like you kind of aren't progressing. And there's a couple of reasons for this. Like, if you think about how we mostly all of us grew up, like when we were young, there were always these checkpoints, right? There were always these checkpoints. It was like, well, every, you know, 4 to 5 months, you were finishing up a semester of school. And then after you do that twice, you're leveling up to the next year, the next grade. You know, you're freshman, then you're a sophomore, then you're a junior, senior. Um, Same thing with, you know, college. You know, you have regular checkpoints. There's things to accomplish. There's already a plan that's set out for you. But when you get out into like the real world and real life, it's not exactly set up that way. And a lot of things take a lot longer than, you know, a quick 6 months and then I'm leveled up, if that makes sense. So you really do want to think about the fact that there's not these regular checkpoints and things do take a little bit longer than normal. And that's how it makes it easy to fall into these ruts sometimes where you're just doing okay. You don't really have to have any goals that are, you know, stretching you a little bit and make you dig a little bit deeper. And hopefully that sun is not too crazy. Maybe I'll turn it this way a little bit. But you have to take charge of your own life because that standard path doesn't exist. You get to choose exactly how things are going to go. You have to plan it out. You have to set your own goals. And I'm going to break down just a few different areas of life that maybe you have thought about, maybe you haven't thought about, but it really applies to everything because you can really just take things a little bit more seriously and you can really, really make a huge impact in a lot of areas of your life. So let's start with nutrition. You know, everybody's eating, you know, well, hopefully everybody's eating. But a lot of times, let's say you got some workout goals, right? But you haven't really, you know, dug into what it takes to really level your body game up. Maybe you go to the gym consistently, but, you know, maybe you don't have a true workout plan. So maybe you sit down and you dig into getting you a real workout plan. Maybe with your nutrition, you know, you try to eat clean, you try to eat healthy, but you've never dug into macros. You know, you never sat down and looked at macronutrients and understood what they are. You never really went and said, oh, okay, macros are proteins, carbs, and fats. And there should be a certain percentage of each that I'm getting on a regular basis to change my body in the way that I want it to be. So that's what I mean by like taking things a little bit more seriously. It's like, okay, well, I was going to the gym and I'm eating clean, but what's that next level? What's that next level that I could go to. So let's do it with money this time. So financially, like I said, maybe you're doing okay. Maybe, you have a decent job. It's pretty consistent. You finally got to some plateaus that you wanted to get to, but it's been kind of stagnant. That's when you want to look into other things. You want to look a little bit deeper. With finances, let's say that, you have a 401k and you've been maxing it out and you're getting the employee match. If you're not doing that, you need to at least do that. But let's take it to the next level. Do you have an IRA or a Roth IRA? A Roth IRA, when you put in after-tax money, whatever gains it makes are tax-free when you retire and you start drawing on it. And you can max that out as a single person. I think right now it's about $7,000 a year you can put into that. So, it's just looking at all of the things that are available. Everybody that's been in corporate America probably has heard about the 401k, but did you really dig into a Roth IRA or a regular IRA? Like, just dig a little bit deeper. Maybe with your 401k, you never really paid attention to like what it's actually invested in and how well it's doing. There's things inside of 401ks called target date funds. And if you've ever seen them or if you ever looked into it and you're like, you get to choose what you're invested in. Target date funds are the ones that have like a year number at the end. So it might say, something, 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 2040, something, something, 2045, 2050 or whatever. Like those are the expected date that is saying that you're going to retire. So really, the further that date is out, like into the future, like 2050, 55 or whatever, those are usually going to be invested in more risky things because it's saying that you can be more aggressive because you have more time to continue to work before you retire. So it's usually going to put you in more risky investments. Whereas, if you have a target date fund that says like something, something 2030 or, let's say 2030, that one is probably going to be in more safe investments that aren't going to necessarily get you huge returns, but they are going to, be pretty safe and consistent and maybe get you smaller returns, maybe safer, consistent returns. So there's just so many levels of things that you can just take it a step deeper. You can take it to another level and make huge impacts. And these are the things that like most people aren't doing, right? These are the things that most people are kind of ignoring. And that's why you can kind of have a competitive advantage. You can really take advantage of these types of scenarios because nobody's doing them. Let's take your attire. And like I said, this channel is men's focused. So a lot of men, we don't really dress that well in general. We some of us dress okay. Some of us know how to put it on or whatever. Some of us know about the cologne game and grooming or whatever, but there's just so many different levels and you could just take it a little bit more seriously. So maybe you've never been super into style and fashion, but you tend to dress okay. You may be one of the guys that likes to look like the mannequin, in the store. Like you go into the men's section, they'll have like an outfit on a mannequin and you'll be like, oh, okay, that looks okay. I'll buy that. Boom, you look like the mannequin. And there's just so many more levels. Like you don't want to look like the mannequin. You want to figure out like how to determine and figure out what your own style is. You want to learn about accessories. You want to learn a little bit about color theory. You want to, maybe you have no idea about it, so you dig a little deeper. Maybe you start to find a few YouTubers that have fashion-focused channels for men, and it teaches you just the basics of like the things that you should have, the types of shoes that you need to have in every wardrobe, how to accessorize. And I'll tell you, like the accessories are really what kind of can change the game for you because it can bring an outfit together and you can put, your own personal flair and style on it. And then you can even take things to another level and have conversation pieces or conversation starters, like an accessory that's very, very unique that, just makes people open up like, hey, I see you got on whatever that is. Tell me about that. Like, sometimes that can open up opportunities for you where you may not have had an opportunity just based on you doing a little bit more accessorizing. So there's just so many different things that you can think about and ways that you can look at just taking it a little bit more seriously. Like the video that I recorded yesterday, I was talking about how to become more interesting, how to become a more interesting person, a more interesting man. And, I touched on a lot of different things. And that is another example of just taking your life a little bit more seriously, like expanding your context, putting yourself in a position where you get out of your comfort zone and you try new things, you learn new things. If you never really traveled, try to do a little bit of traveling. I know a lot of people from my hometown that really haven't been anywhere. They really haven't left the comforts of, what they grew up around. And when I come back home and I visit, like I can really tell because I'll run into people and, have conversations and, they're still on the same things they were on when we were in high school. But it's because they haven't dug a little bit deeper. They haven't, tried to put themselves in that position. And I understand that everybody's got, a different hand of cards that they've been dealt. But we all have, an opportunity every day that we wake up to try to just make it the best that it can be. And sometimes it does take just taking your life a little bit more seriously. There's just so many things to think about. And if you start to just break down all of these different areas of your life, you can really just think about them a little bit more deeply. You can figure out ways that you can take it to a little bit better level. And it doesn't even have to be crazy to make huge results. Let's say, for example, fitness-wise or health-wise, you want to be a little bit more healthy, but you're not in a position to spend a lot of money on like organic foods, and you don't have a gym membership or whatever. Maybe you start off by just drinking more water. Something that's pretty accessible to most people. Just getting some good, clean water, because like little by little, if you start to incorporate that into your day, let's say that, you never woke up in the morning and, drank a glass of water. So you brush your teeth and now you're going to drink, 8 ounces of water every morning. Slowly but surely what that's going to do is it's going to just kind of help detox your body. It's going to possibly change your gut biome. Your gut biome is connected to your brain, so you might end up being a little bit more cognitively clear. You can think about things in a little bit better way. And, that can just have all of these cascading effects that just improves your life in many, many ways. So, really, I just want to encourage you to take life a little bit more seriously. And I thank you for rocking with me again. And today, just drop in the comments for me. Just give me a couple of examples of how you plan on taking your life a little bit more seriously. You don't even have to have it all the way thought out yet, but just say, oh, I'm going to take my style a little bit more seriously. I'm going to take my grooming a little bit more seriously. I'm going to take my fragrance game a little bit more seriously. I'm going to focus on my car. I have the car, but this year I'm actually going to keep it super clean. I'm never going to have trash in there. It's always going to be washed and waxed. Maybe I'm going to join one of those little car wash memberships where I can take it through as many times as I need to in the month. Whatever the thing is going to be for you, just drop that in the comments for me, because I'm trying to build a community. I want to make sure that we can all support each other on this journey, because it's tough out here for the boys, man. It's tough out here for men. We don't get a lot of support. We don't have a lot of things that are focused on us. And a lot of times when we do get those spaces, they kind of get infiltrated. So this is going to be one of our spaces, man. I'm not saying that everybody can't benefit from some of the things that happen on this channel, but I'm going to have a lot of men-focused topics. So, if you're rocking with that, definitely put that in the Put that in the comments below. Give your boy a like or a subscribe, or both, preferably. And hey, that's some free game for you. Catch you all next time. Peace.